Alright, so let's give a round of applause to Ross. Let's welcome to the stage. Let's go.
Okay. There were lots of happy stories today. Lots of stories of success and stories of greatness, stories that inspired us all. But I'll tell you a different story. I'll tell you a story of failure and all the lessons that came out of it. I joined Arrayah a month back. And at that point, I was 1.5 months into building my prototype. The problem that I was solving is AI task management. Here is a bit of context. So sometimes my mind gets busy. Lots of things get into my mind and everything seems important. I want to do everything. But obviously, to achieve any kind of greatness in your life, you can't just do everything. You gotta prioritize. So the system that I developed in my life to deal with this is to have a piece of paper on which I would dump everything. And I would ignore that piece of paper until the weekend. And then on the weekend, I would process it. So this way, everything would kind of be organized and prioritized. But here's the catch. It didn't work because I wouldn't process the piece of paper. And so I would stop trusting the system and stop doing it. So that's that. So around 6 months ago, I quit my job in machine learning at Westpac. I wanted to go all in on startups. I knew I was a founder. So when looking for these ideas, I convinced myself that this was a massive problem in my life, this kind of prioritization, doing everything in brute force. And so, I thought I was smart, I read mom test. So I so I talked to some customers and I got lukewarm feedback. But I thought better. I thought, okay, I had this problem and it seems real and they just don't understand. Maybe I don't ask them the right questions. And so I got the lukewarm feedback, but I ignored it. Now, 3 months later, after starting this project, I parked it. And here are some reasons why it failed. So no one was actually going to pay for what I was building. That's first. Realistically, it required a lot of user friction. The product required behavioral change. ADHD users already had systems that somewhat worked. They struggled with doing what they know, not knowing what to do. At some point, I realized that I didn't even know what the solved problem looked like. So those were some reasons. Here are some lessons, though. So because of this desperation, I convinced myself that this was a real problem. And just this desperation of wanting to be a founder, that's what it did to me. Second lesson is that building startup inside tight community of founders is so critical because I've been building this thing for 2 months. And I get little feedback and sometimes have conversation and things are moving. But I joined Arrayah and 3 weeks later, I killed the project.
Let's go!
So to be honest, I still believe this problem should be solved. Someone should solve it. It's a smart to-do list kind of thing, smart backlog. I feel like it's relatable, but it's fucking hard. And I'm not sure I'm the right person to do it. I'm not sure it's the right time. And I think there are better opportunities. So I just decided to move on. So where am I now? I started Antler this week and looking for a co-founder. I have 6 years of software experience in AI, machine learning. I did R&D at Big Bang. I'm open to new ideas, joining co-founders, looking for ambitious people who love risk. And I commit my life to the startup journey. I'll keep working. I keep sleeping under the desk. I'll keep staring into a abyss and eat glass. I want this. Let's build a fucking company together.